Já, komiði sæl. Hæstvirtur ráðherra, kæru ráðstefnugestir, hjartanlega velkomin á afmælisráðstefnu Opinna kerfa. To our partners, friends that have traveled long distances here to be here today, we are very honored to have you. Í þessi 30 ár hefur saga Opinna kerfa verið samofin þeirri miklu þróun og breytingum sem orðið hafa á upplýsingatækni umhverfinu. Í gegnum tíðina hefur eitt stærsta verkefni fyrirtækisins verið að aðstoða viðskiptavini okkar við hagnýtingu upplýsingatækninnar og koma íslensku samfélagi inn í 21. öldina. Nú svo komið að flest í okkar umhverfi byggir meira og meira á tækjum sem tengjast gegnum háhraðanet, upplýsingum sem miðlaði gegnum þjónustur sem hýstar eru í miðlægum upplýsingaveitum. Undirliggjandi þema ráðstefnunnar snýr að gagnaversiðnaði með tilliti til sjálfbærar endurnýjanlegar orku og hagstæðrar legu landsins. Ísland í lykilaðstöðu með tilliti til staðsetningar, helstu markaðssvæða heimsins, góðra tenginga við umheiminn, tæknilega innviði og menntunarstig þjóðarinnar. Þetta hefur gert okkur kleift að taka við fjölbreytilegum verkefnum frá alþjóðlegum viðskiptavinum sem líta til landsins sem vænlegan kost þegar kemur að þeirri þjónustu sem veittir í gagnaverum. Það rétt að minnast á samstarf Opinna kerfa og Vörn datacenter í þjónustu við þýska bílaframleiðandann BMW. Það eru gríðarlega spennandi tímar framundan og vöxtur í notkun á upplýsingatækni sem aldrei fyrr. Dagskráin í dag þétt og spennandi, and without further delay, I would like to introduce the Honorable Minister of Industry and Commerce, Ragheiðar Elínar Árnadóttur.
Ágætu ráðstefnugestir, ladies and gentlemen, I was told that I could choose between Icelandic and English, and I decided, since I got the information that there were some 20 foreign visitors here, since I'm also the minister responsible for tourism, to be a welcoming host and address you here in English. I hope all the Icelanders won't mind. But I would like to congratulate Opinna kerfi on this 30-year anniversary. 30 years, it's not for us who are almost getting to be middle-aged, not there yet. 30 years sounds like a lot. And I started thinking what I was doing in 1985 and what really has changed since 1985, particularly with regards to technology and the topic of discussion here today. And I came to the conclusion that it's quite a lot. And that's why I brought this with me to the podium, which I never do, because I think I can demonstrate my speech could be very short. The difference between 1985 and 2015 is this. We went from the cassette to the iPhone. And I was thinking this in connection with what was I doing in 1985. And I had gone to Boise, Idaho as an exchange student. And before I left, I taped all the Duran Duran records and brought them with me. And my son, who just turned 13, he just returned from a trip with his school for 2 days to Vatnaskógur. And he took his iPhone with all the music in the world. So the difference in technology is quite something. There have been huge technological advances, and technological advances that really have changed our daily lives in every aspect, so to speak. These technological advances have made our lives simpler in many ways, but they've also tended to complicate things. For example, in 1985, back to Boise, Idaho, I took a lot of pictures, and I went to the developer and had them developed, and then I came back and I put them in my photo albums that I have very conveniently located in my home, so I can, every once in a while, when I get the urge, I just grab the photo album and look at it. In 2015, and we can go back a little bit further, let's say 2000, 2002, when the digital age entered, I've taken much more pictures than I did in Boise, Idaho, but I have no idea where they are. They are in old computers, my son's birth, the videos of them starting to walk and everything. I can't find them because they're in an old computer, which I have forgotten the password. I don't have a copy. You know, I'm terrible. So I'm wondering whether my sons are going to be, because I'm the youngest of four, I'm born in 1967, and that was when the slides pictures, you know, that you needed the projector. That was the new technology at that time, and probably someone thought that everyone would always use the slide projector. But the result of that was that my sister, who's 7 years older than I am, she had a very good case in telling me that I was adopted, because there were no pictures of me in the album where the pictures of my 3 older siblings were. So I'm hoping that I will do something about it. And since I have this crowd here in front of me, please, can you help me to get organized with my pictures so my sons don't have to go through the same agony as I did with my sisters, because I didn't have those pictures. But there's also something different, something else that is different with the increased technology. And going back to my sons, I have 2, 7 and 13-year-old, and they just think differently than we do. They have the technology, and the way they learn and the way they think and operate is different because of the different technology that they have grown up with and known all their lives. This was very apparent when my 13-year-old got his shopping list when school was starting, and he had to buy a Danish dictionary. And he's like, "Mom, I had Danish last year and they didn't tell me to buy the dictionary." And I said, "Well, you need a dictionary. Maybe you're further along." And he's like, "Mom, who uses dictionary? We have Google Translate." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but you just have to learn how to use a dictionary." And then I was listening to myself and I was like, why does he need to learn a dictionary? You have it right here. He was right. And that made me wonder about, the generation gap that we are evidently facing. Because his teachers are my age, and they are teaching him, and they are using the methods that I was taught, this is an exaggeration, and with total respect for all teachers. But this little example shows how well we need to step up our game. We need to catch up with our children and be there with them in this technological advancement. Otherwise, I will be, and I think I fear that I already am, and this is the last story that I will tell. I feel like I've invited you into my home. But my mother, in 1985 approximately, I was somewhere and I would miss my favorite show. I was somewhere out and about, and we didn't have the video on demand and all of this, what we have today. So I called my mother and asked her to tape it. I can't remember whether it was LA Law or Dallas or something. There was a show that I could not miss. And my mother was not really up to date in this technology, but she was good at pushing the button that turned red, for record. But you always had to have everything prepared, but I hadn't prepared. So I told her, I'll walk you through it. Just, there's a cassette there, and just put it in the machine. And she's like, no, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I'm like, well, turn it around. Are you sure you have it right? Yeah. Mom, take it out of the box. So it was in the box. And I feel like I have, as we probably all do, I have turned into my mother when I'm talking to my sons. But going back to Opinna kerfi, their slogan, allt mögulegt, in Icelandic. It's a great slogan. And it goes both, it's ambiguous enough. Allt mögulegt can be translated into anything is possible, or all kinds of stuff. Allt mögulegt. But it is a great slogan, and I think it's very evident for us here in Iceland, particularly today. We see that anything is possible. We just see it when we look around. We can see it from a political standpoint. We can see it in the improvements that we have made in our economic situation in relatively few years. We see it in the improvements that we see in terms of lifting the capital controls. We see it in the strong economic indicators that we have as a result of our policy. We have had a balanced budget, surplus, 3 years now in a row, and I'm actually going to the Parliament today to present the budget as it is for my ministry. We see strong economic growth. We see that inflation figures are low, unemployment is going down, public debt is going down, taxes are going down, investment is going up. We can say it here, those of us who are responsible and are here representing the government, but the most rewarding thing is that other people are saying this as well. We hear it from the rating agencies that are giving us a better grade. We hear it from the OECD, who literally gave the Minister of Finance a tap on the back when he was here last week. We hear it from the IMF. So we see that anything is possible. Getting back to my son, my 7-year-old was born September 25th, 2008. He's 7, and we can see that the Icelandic economy has grown and prospered and developed just as well as my son, although he is obviously my favorite. But my message here to you today is that we will continue on this path, because we believe that this doesn't happen just because. We have made decisions, and we have taken this path, and we're going to continue. We're going to continue to lower taxes. We're going to continue to deregulate and make the economic environment here more feasible for industry. We want your business. We think, and it's true what was said here before, and I'm very interested in the topic that you're focusing on today with the data center market. I think that's a very viable industry for Iceland. And then maybe going back to the slogan, anything is possible, the most important thing that we see, and is going to be a cornerstone in our continued growth, is that we see that anything is possible because we see the innovation, we see the technical development, we see the technical advancement, we see the entrepreneurs who are here everywhere, and we have been fortunate enough in my ministry to be able to work with these companies, with this industry, and that is, I think, the most rewarding part of my job, to be with these creative companies and people. Not only do we see new industries and new companies arise and take advantage of innovation, but we also see innovation in old traditional industries, which I think is just as equally as important. So we have decided to work with this industry. We have created or increased our governmental support, for example, to R&D, and most importantly, we are cooperating with the industry itself in an action plan that we will present later on this fall, where basically the message is we are going to level the playing field. We're going to make simple, clear, strict, so that everyone, we can say it like a football field. You have to have the referee, you have to have the rules, but then, unlike the referee, we're going to get out of your way. And hopefully, we will be able, in this manner, to increase growth, to increase technological development, and to increase the value of our exports, which is what we need to do. So, my message to you here is we are in your team, although it doesn't really harmonize with what I said that I was going to get off the field. But it's better to be. I'll be on the sidelines. And actually, and I see that Skúli Eggert is here. There's actually finally a final note. One technological advancement that has really improved the quality of life of everyone in Iceland. In 1985, I could not talk to my father for weeks at a time. We could not have a dinner party because the dinner table in the living room or the dining room was full of papers and folders and stuff because my father was doing the tax return. We couldn't talk to him for a week. He was so grumpy. Now, thanks to Skúli and his colleagues, we can almost just push one button, and we are working on another button which is going to increase or simplify the life of over 80% of Icelandic companies, where they can file their accounts by pressing one button after they have filed the tax return. So, we are here to, like Ronald Reagan said, don't be alarmed if I say I'm from the government, I'm here to help. But we sincerely want to work with you to make things better. And just in return, I just ask if anyone can solve my photo problem, call me. Thank you very much and good luck with your conference.